I think we're live, and I'm going live on this video because I'm trying to test out my audio of this particular webcam. The last few times I've been using this webcam, I have not been able to be actually live, so that's why this is not a scheduled live. This is just a live. I'm just doing it. The state of Illinois, the last state, which requires a FOID card. For those of you all that are so I don't know. I'm watching a whole bunch of shit too, like on TikTok and all that. You know, there's a lot of knowledge and shit that I see from TikTok because they be on there talking a lot of shit about some of everything. Like the dude talking about FOID cards that you can get. I don't know if you can hear my sound. That's what I'm doing with this. I'm basically testing out the sound because in the last few live streams that I tried to do on here, the sound won't work. So I chose just to start doing it on my cell phone. You know what I'm saying? But it's hard having to have a cell phone propped up. I got all the little trappings and shit to set the cell phone up, but it do a different kind of shot. It's a wider angle and shit. So it's like basically the camera's further away. But the webcam is a normal shot, which is what you're seeing right now. But for some reason, the audio will not work. I don't know. I'm not sure why. But when you use a cell phone, the audio worked perfectly. So my last few, I just been using a cell phone. So this time I just dove on here because I wanted to make sure if the audio was working that I just kind of tested it out in case I wanted to do a live stream again, sitting right here without using a cell phone. You know what I'm saying? So if the sound is working, you can let me know in the comments. If the sound ain't working, you should probably let me know, or you probably will let me know because you just see me yapping and probably hear some kind of glitch. It's been some kind of glitch sound that other people been letting me know that they was hearing when I used this webcam. So I just tried it again today. But on the subject matter that I'm discussing, and I'm smoking, chilling, is I want to talk about the murders that we keep hearing all over the fucking internet. Every time you wake up in a day today, every single day, it's about somebody else getting murdered by the police every single day. So they just convicted Derek Chauvin yesterday, 2 days ago, yesterday, and then today it's 2 more shootings. They got a shooting in Ohio where a cop killed a teenage kid, 16 years old, out the car for 20 seconds. Wow, kid dead. She had a knife in her hand and it looked like she was lunging toward another kid. But, you know, I don't think he could have murdered. He'd had to murder her. He had a taser. He could have tased her. There's a lot of things that could have happened. But that's going to be determined. People are going to be going through all the drama behind that in the next recent days. The girl mother responded. She was like, "This is my kid. She was a good girl. She was an honor roll student. She got into a tiff with another teenager and looked like the father or some grown man was involved too. But the cop didn't shoot him. He shot the kid. And the kid had a knife in her hand. So I'm sure we all had fights growing up, and we all probably even grabbed a weapon or probably wanted to grab a weapon having a fight in your lifetime, especially being under 18. And you know that you're emotional, you cry, you might not cry, you might be angry as hell, you know, how you act as a teenager. So this kid being in the same predicament, a situation that we all might have found ourselves in growing up, she's dead. She's dead from that. And it's just really horrible to see that the parents ain't got nothing. They can't stop it. They don't, ain't nothing they can do. They can only sit back and be sad now. And it's just really fucked up. And we gonna start hearing all kind of ways and reasons why it's okay for that cop to kill that little girl. And he probably had the right intentions and he didn't mean no harm and all this bullshit. And like and subscribe too. I appreciate y'all watching. I just, you know, it's hard to go on with my day when you see all this chaos because as a black man, I be in the streets real heavy. And particularly if I'm not shooting movies, I'm outside on the streets hustling my products in front of nothing but white folks. You can almost look at the spot that I'm at downtown Chicago, like Times Square. It's cracking 24/7. It's people everywhere all the time. It's tourism. It's basically tourism. So I'm out there with my shit. It's a bunch of other motherfuckers. We hustling, we grinding. It's the grind we love to do in Chi-Town. My father taught me to grind when I was a little ass kid. We was going into projects at that time. But, you know, obviously I'm doing my own thing as a grown man, so I'm getting downtown. And there's other people grinding too. It ain't just me. But my point about it is that it's constantly accosted by the police. Always walking up on you, always getting in your face, always telling you to leave, even though we got license, even though we legal, even though this is our businesses that we run. It's still the accosted by the police. Now, you definitely got to deal with the accosting of the people, because you're talking to every kind of tourist in the world, from people from overseas, from Africa, Mexico, China, they don't give a shit where they're from. They walking through, come to visit the shop, you trying to sell your products, and it goes like that. But you do run into the cops, motherfucking police get in your face talking shit. That's bootlegs, or whatever the fuck they talking about, because they be trying to hate sometimes. Not all the time, but they do. And then you wondering to yourself, damn, is this going to be a moment where, because y'all might have to check this motherfucking cop, or just a moment where this motherfucker might call for backup? It's, you constantly dealing with that when you're in the grind and you're in the world and you're fucking with the police. Luckily, nothing happened like that. No tragic shit like that happened in my world, but you do constantly have to accost and be accosted by the cops. So you cannot be on your P's and Q's all the time. But see how they letting them get away with the fucking murders. They letting them get away with it. It's okay. They going to court and they sitting in jail for a year before they go through trial. It's a lot of bullshit. They going on vacations or paid leave and all this shit, which is the same thing going on with this cop. He killed a little girl and he's on paid leave now until the duration of the investigation, but he's getting paid. So he basically getting paid at the crib. His check he was normally getting, he ain't got to show up to work. He just sit at the crib and chill and get paid. And then the way the little girl had a knife in her hand when he actually shot the gun, they're going to probably be like, it's okay. He didn't do nothing. Even though that was a teenage kid and he had a lot of other ways he could have stopped that situation. You know what I'm saying? But he chose to murder her. And then they got a black guy in North Carolina who got shot last night or this morning. They was executing a search warrant at his crib, and they came in and they killed him. They said he reached for some shit or whatever. They're not saying if he was armed. They're not saying if he came after them, but they're just saying that the situation when they got in the crib, it led to them killing him. No police cam or nothing like that has been released. But here's another murder that they just getting away with in America, and it's constantly letting us know as black men and as black people that it's a war against us. And it ain't got shit to do with Trump. It ain't got shit to do with the presidencies and all that bullshit that they try to tell us. Vote for Biden. It's going to change your life. It's not. It's not. He put all kind of presidential orders in. He made laws and shit for the Asian community as soon as he got in there within his first 100 days. And all these black people was voting for him and doing all this extra shit for him. He ain't passed nothing for us as far as legally going, especially when it comes to the police. Like, that should be the first thing on his mind, saying there's got to be a reform where black people can be cops, where black people stop getting murdered like that. Right in Chicago, where I live, they have a teenage kid. Well, he's not even a teenager, he's 13. So I wouldn't even really call it a teenager. It's a little bitty baby. And he got outside in the street just about 2 days ago, and he had a gun and a white cop chasing behind him. The video was all over the internet. The white cop chasing behind him. The kid tossed a gun behind the gate. The cop shoot him. Boom, kill him instantly. And he did. So it's like the kid put his hands up, but by the time he tossed the gun and spin around with his hand up, the cop shoot the gun. This is a 13-year-old child. Yeah, 13-year-old children can get their hands on guns. Guns are every fucking where. Why can't a kid? Why is that unfathomable to think that a kid can't get his hands on a gun? Then he get his hands on a gun and instantly he's dead. It's not even a thought. It's not even a question. Like, hey, wait. What about the little kid Tamir Rice in Cleveland who they killed? He had a fucking play gun and he was literally standing at a park. Literally had a play gun and a cop pulled up and shot him within 13 seconds. These things is happening to our race over and over and over, and somebody got to say something about it and stand up and fight this thing, because what's there to lose? I mean, at the end of the day, they can only either put you in jail or put you in the ground. And we already know that that's a possibility every single day you leave the house for our race. It's not like you're exempt from it or excused from it or nothing like that. And it just seems so fucking tragic. You wake up in the middle of the night and you look at your phone and lo and behold, it's another shooting. It's 50. Think about this. It's 50 states, right? 50 states. And every state is so many counties and so many cities, so many towns. Each one of these areas have white police controlling the area. It don't matter if you segregate it like we are in Chicago, where you separate it from the rest of the city, it's still white cops running your area. It don't matter if you unincorporated, like you way in the suburban towns and you're not necessarily your town ain't a part of the major city or county, you still got white cops flapping through your hood. It's basically the cops was created through the slave patrols. The slave patrols from way back in the day, they decided that slaves are going to be free and walking around or escaping. We got people that we're going to indoctrinate or deputize to go out here and find them. And that's how the police got started. And so they used to call them patty rollers or something like that. No, it was slave patrol, but eventually they started calling patty rollers and shit like that to and it's just been a white thing since it started. So can you imagine certain places like in California, the police actually got gangs inside the police. So while they'll lock black guys up and put them in jail for RICO cases and all this shit, there is actually police officers in California that's in a gang within the police. I think it's in a sheriff department or something like that I've been hearing. But I mean, it's just crazy that something like that even can exist. So it's no longer let's go and try to protect and serve or the words that they use. But it's okay, we got to protect ourselves within the ranks of this cop gang that we in, and that those people is inside the cops too, but they got their own separate gang, and and they tell you it's like, well, what the fuck is that for me then? If I go to prison, if I'm in the gang, if me and my homies talk on the phone and we got gang ties, we locked up, but y'all got gang ties. Plus, you get a check every fucking week, every 2 weeks, and you get benefits, and you get to live in a nice home, and you got a gun. So it's like, so how did they elevate to that point? Because I went to school, I did the same. What the fuck? How these motherfuckers get to that point? So it's just a choice of your job choice. You chose to be a cop, so that means you get a gun. That means you get a comfortable ass life. You get to be a gang member. You got tattoos of your gang on your arm, and it's okay. This will show you what, again, that being a black person, you're up against the gun. You're up against all of the turmoil and tumultuousness that they got for you in America, and it ain't shit you can do to block it or stop it or knock it down. And it's just crazy. So just seeing the murders right there, that's enough to talk about, because we can talk about all of the racial shit and everything that they got that's to block black people, but that is irrelevant to the fact that just walking outside the house or just jumping in your car, you could be the next victim. You or somebody could be the next victim. Ohio is close as fuck to Chicago. Like, who is these cops? Like, how do they even know when it's their turn to murder? Like, are they just walking around and it's like, this gun is the gun is really the police. It's like, because if I tell you to do something and you don't fucking agree with that, you dead. You know what I'm saying? So, and y'all got to let me know, man, what y'all think about that, man, because it's just real crazy. And I hope the sound working, because if it ain't, then y'all fucked up. But I think the sound is working because nobody made no complaint. I just really just jumped on here just to talk about that kind of shit and smoke one real quick, because it's just something to really think about. All these murders is happening to black people and shit, and it's really nothing nobody could do about it. It's crazy. And then they're gonna go to court and they're gonna do the whole dance with the lawyers and with everybody that it's a routine that everybody do. And then we sit around here worried that I got 3 little sons. The last thing I want is somebody evil connecting with them, stopping them on a frisk or whatever they're doing, and then turning that to a part where my kid got to get shot. I'm tired of seeing it. I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of knowing about it. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. So you're going to be seeing the news running down and shit about this stuff. They trying to do gun reform and all these reasons and all this stuff. But the guy, Chris Cuomo, the white dude on CNN News, he came on there maybe a day or two ago, and he was like, this is going to continue until white people, kids start getting killed. It's going to continue until white people, kids start getting killed, he said. So until a white kid is smoking a joint or running down the street to a game or something like that, and then a cop kill him and claim it's an accident, that's when the reform is going to kick in. That's when it's going to stop. When that started being the norm in the city, and they're like, wait a minute, what? You shot a white? What? This kid was going to be a doctor, a lawyer, Indian chief. You shot him. What the fuck? And then that's what's going to change, because right now, just killing black dudes is not a problem. That's normal. They have reasons to tear the black person down after he's dead, and they got reasons to make the white person a victim and a hero at the same time. That lady shot the young kid over there in Minnesota the same day of the trial, when the trial was going on a few days ago, and they had the police at her crib protecting her. They literally had the police at her crib protecting her, making sure that nobody would raid her house or come in there and try to hurt her. And they know that in the history of black people being in America, as much pain and trouble and shit that they put us through, murdering us, killing us, there's never been a time where black people went back and tried to retaliate. It's never been a time like that in the history of black people, we've never went back and tried to hurt white folks after something like negative happened to us. We all sit back and talk about it amongst each other, be sad, be hurt, but nothing happened. Emmett Till was killed in the 1950s. Since the 1950s, ain't no black person across America went down south to go retaliate for Emmett Till. It just don't happen like that. So having a cop sit at that lady house or having her have protection at her crib, that's a joke. That is a literal joke. She should be in jail because that's what crime and criminals do. If you kill a person, even at your job, it's a crime. But when you kill a black person, they go through this whole song and dance again. Yo, was it okay? Did the person do something? They make a million excuses why it's okay to kill a black person. So it do make you think, it do make you wonder, it do make you kind of, have your mind pierced about this shit, you know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna be in white communities. In Chicago, if you have not been around here and you see this video, it's segregated. So let me explain segregation or segregated Chicago. The black people are relegated to two areas in Chicago. That's the South Side and that's the West Side. The Mexican community, the Hispanic community, they're relegated to the lakefront, the lake or close by white people. So you can get Hispanic community. If you leave in the black community, before you get to the white community, you'll go through the Hispanic community. That's in another section, but it's like if where I'm from, the east side, the Hispanic community are way east. Like it's if you were getting ready to go into Indiana, you'll run into the Hispanic community. Other than that, they're away from us. They're like way on the other side of town. I think it's northwest. That's where you'll see this Hispanic community again. So the white community, they're north. They're on the north side of Chicago. So it's a little E-way. Well, we call it E-way up here, but y'all call it highway, freeways, all that shit. Expressway is what we call it. So E-way is a short for that. But it's the E-way that take you. It's called Lakeshore Drive. They take you to the Spanish community. They take you to the black community. And they take you to the white community. It's a stretch. It runs down the lake. And it'll take you to all three communities. It'll run you. If you keep riding that motherfucker, it'll take you to Indiana. You feel me? I mean, it'll take you to Wisconsin. It's a little stretch, though. And the other direction, which is closer to us, will be Indiana. So you're not going to see Hispanic people ever walking down the street, riding down the block, at the store, at the local corners. You're not going to see that. It don't happen. And if you're around the Hispanic community, you have to get in your car and drive over to where the fuck they at. They got stores and shit. You go buy what the fuck you want to buy and ain't no people around there, blah, blah, blah. But it's segregated. And so you get up north. You obviously had to get in your car and drive your ass way down to the north side where the white people are. They're never in your neighborhood. They're never driving down the street. They're not at the store. They ain't stopping at the gas station. They're not nowhere around. You're not going to see them, period. It's been like that since you're a kid. So you're used to only seeing black people. Period. Every fucking day, all night long, since you're a fucking baby to your age today. Unless you want to see a Caucasian, you got to go to court. You got to go to fucking your job or something like that. It might be white people where you work at, but it's not in your community. And that's how Chicago has always been set up. So it's been like that since I was a kid. So if you go downtown, that would be like a melting pot. Every fucking anybody is down there. So that's why I had to take my brand to the downtown district, because I sold my shit to the black community every fucking where for years. And so it's only a limit that you can sell to black people because there's so many black people. So you got to go downtown where you got a plethora of humans that's coming around and blah, blah, blah. But that being said, it's letting you know that somebody set this motherfucker up like that. This wasn't like sometimes I see people in Michigan or I see people in Ohio or Minnesota and they be around white people. And you be like, how the fuck is the white people around y'all in Detroit? That's crazy. Y'all actually got white people around y'all hood like that. Now I'm older. You do see a couple of white folks moving a few blocks over here, a few blocks over there. But they're not intermingling with the neighborhood. They just got a crib, and I'm sure they get in their car and drive back to white communities when it's time for them to intermingle with people. But they set the city up like that for a reason. So not only did they set it up with the segregation, but that means the white folks got to leave their white community, jump in their outfit at the job, and then drive over to your neighborhood to police you. So by the time they did that whole ritual, waking up in the morning, getting ready for going to work, got to stop at the office to get the gun or whatever the fuck they got to do, then they drive in the police car. If they park their car, now they got to get in the police car to drive over. Yeah, that's a fucking whole lot of shit to do. And by the time they get there, they could be irritated. They could be bored. They could be mad. They could be all type of shit. And then they pulling up on you. You have a domestic violence situation, or somebody that did some ill shit to you, or you doing some ill shit to somebody. And now, boom, here this motherfucker come. He only got one thing to do in this situation. He's authority. He only got one motherfucking thing. So as soon as you're a black man, like, no, man, this will happen. That's why the first thing they say is calm down, chill, calm down. Because what? I ain't come over here for all that. You're going to irritate them with your agitated situation. So the first thing he going to do is be like, yo, step back, move back, get there, boom, because he don't even want to fucking be there. Now imagine if the police was the same people who was in that segregated community that was there since they was all born too, and they ran back through it. You probably fucking even know that person. That person might even know you. And pull up and be like, Tony, what the fuck you doing out here again, man? Come on, man. No, I'm tired of dealing with you, or whatever that engagement will happen to, versus somebody pulling up in like, what the fuck? God damn it. Oh shit, I was nervous. I didn't know what to do. He moved, they jumped too fast. He don't even fucking know you. He has no connection to you. And then what happens after he shoots your ass? They close ranks around him and they be like, it's okay. It was a bad situation. That person was probably not a good person. He jumped back in the car, the police car, to the police station, take that shit off, take his jacket, put that shit on, and ride back to the crib and be like, what a fucked up day I had. And he's back being a normal person. So it really ain't no such thing as a blue life. That's a regular fucking human. He just got to be around us. And our world is sometimes tumultuous. It's sometimes up in the war. If you've been locked and trapped in a fucking area in the city all your fucking life, and you know the only time you see white people is when you got to go to court, go to school. They're not walking down the street with you. They're not talking to you every fucking day. The only time you see white people is when you see them on fucking TV. And that's facts. That's not nobody trying to even say nothing foul. That's reality. Unless you're looking on fucking TV, you don't even see white people. They're not driving through your motherfucking hood like, oh, what's going on with you guys? They way up fucking north. And if you take your motherfucking ass up north, that's the only time you're going to fucking see them. That's it. It's like that. That's how we grew up in Chicago. You're not seeing white people on a normal. You're not even seeing Hispanic people on a normal. We live in a black community. It ain't nothing but black people all the way, every day, from the time you're born to the fucking time today. So you learn about other cultures, TV, or traveling outside the state, because when you come back home, you back around black people. That's it. All fucking days, 7 days a week, 30 days, 365 days a year. The city and our culture here is set up like that. I don't know if it's set up like that in other cities. When I go to California or be out there, there's Hispanics everywhere. So that lets you know that the black people had to grow up in LA with another culture, most times right around them. Versus us here, you don't have that. It's no other culture around them. So I think that it's the same thing in certain white communities. You meet white people, they ain't fucking talking to black people every day. There's no black person at the register when they go buy shit. There's no black person on the bus driving the bus in their communities. It is completely white. Every motherfucking thing, all the motherfucking mechanic shops, the food shops, all the way through and through. And it's like that because that's their stronghold. That's where they from. North Lake, Streamwood, Bensonville, wherever the fuck they from, it's all white. So it's like that, and we all got to intermingle with that fact. But having white people from those cultures and from those neighborhoods and from those towns come into our black neighborhood where we got a way of life and we got a way of being, and just so they can come and find a way to get pissed and shoot your ass dead, just so they can find a way to be mad and shoot you dead, it's no win. Think about it. Every fucking jail, every prison, and every jail that they created is in some white suburb, making sure white people got jobs. Period. That's it. And this culture is generational. My grandfather is a correctional officer. My father, my daddy was the warden, and it passed all the way down in their cultures and shit. It passed down in their generations. We don't even have nothing like that in our community, where they build some shit and it's like, okay, we all work there. It's not going to close down because of inflation, and they're going to close down because of embargoes and all that stupid shit. Don't nothing stop jails from running. That shit operate. So why is there not a business that we can have in our culture? If Biden and them ain't doing something like that to invent a culture or something like that we can have in our motherfucking culture, in our community, where we can motherfucking survive and have money and take care of ourselves and not be pissed off or being one having to rob shit or being feeling under the fucking culture, under America's idea of what America is. If we can't have nothing for ourselves, it's going to constantly be fucked up communities that we got. It's going to constantly be like that. I get pissed off at the Oprah Winfrey's and the motherfucking LeBron Jameses and whoever these billionaire people that white people didn't gave this money to, and they don't take some of that money and build a factory and build some kind of cultural business in our community. It states where it's black people. It states where it ain't no black people. It states where it's a small percentage. So you can go to somewhere like Atlanta or Philly or Baltimore, Chicago or Detroit, where it's a stronghold of black people, build some kind of business, and it's constantly running. It's constantly operating. For instance, the Amazon style business, the motherfucking Facebook and all these brands that's just pop-ups that just came out within the last 20 years. And now they got white people and all these other different cultures working in these people places in Silicon Valley and all these areas, making money, millions of dollars, and taking care of their cultures. And all we are is just participants and fan base motherfuckers. We interact with this shit, but we ain't created nothing like that. Where's our think tanks at where we can build this kind of stuff that can build our fucking culture up? All we get to hear about is, oh, Jay-Z invested in these white companies. Oh, look at Nas, he invested in this white company. Who the fuck cares? Oh, look at Tyler Perry. He gave Walmart $500,000 for these black people to go to the man. It's like everybody black is sick. It's like everybody. And if I start looking at it from that perspective, I don't even get upset about it. I'm only tripping now because of the murders. But it do seem like black folks are sick, man. It's like, how the fuck do you care about an investment in a white company when you fucked up and broke where you standing? Them white people ain't finna get no investment from them people and come and take care of your community and help you. What up, James Jones? Yo, bro, I was checking to see if the audio was working on this what's this shit right here? This webcam. And I appreciate y'all hitting me up. Hurricane Facts from Detroit. What's up, Detroit? Say what's up to Belle Isle for me. I love Detroit, man. I love Detroit, man. They always supported the brand every time, man. I love Detroit. Yo, but that's what I was just breaking down, man. You know what I'm saying? That little section that we need our millionaires and billionaires and rich guys to put stuff back into our world, not just be trying to hamper down on, oh, I got a new TV show. Oh, I got a new watch this. Here go my new album. Y'all steady selling shit. You ain't did nothing to build these communities up. And then it's constantly, we're seeing it happen. You seeing it happen where they murdering youngsters all over the world, all over the country, just murdering youngsters, murdering grown men anytime they get their hands on them. And it make you think yourself like, damn, what if they pull up on me? Like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna say? Do I be quiet the whole time? Or, I see a video on TikTok where you got these two white guys and they like, hey, this is what you say when you get pulled over by the police. Just tell them, sir, I hold the Fifth Amendment. Or I don't want to talk. Some shit they saying. And I'm like, y'all white dudes, man, you literally can probably say that shit and walk your ass right up out that motherfucker. Let them stop you and be on some motherfucker. What's your name? I'm going to stick the Fifth Amendment. They'll knock your ass in your teeth, sitting right there with the cam on, and just take the suit. And you sitting back like, damn, I got my ass beat for these punk ass cops whooping me. I'm listening to what they saying on TikTok. Those are Caucasians. They can easily tell the cops all that. I'm not getting out of the car. This is a traffic stop. What? They sprayed that lieutenant nigga right in his face. He like, what's my getting stopped for? Oh yeah, motherfucker, you got questions? Right in his motherfucking face. He like, shit. What the fuck? Yeah, that's what's gonna happen to you as a black dude. And if he either did anything aggressive or fast, they'd have murdered him. That little young dude that got shot by that white lady to my taser, he did what young niggas do. He jumped back in the car trying to get away from the police. That's not odd. This bitch ain't got no chasing her. She ain't got no running motherfucker down and try to stop shit. She just kill a nigga and then sit back and she knew what she was saying. Taser. How the fuck? That's like me saying some shit right now with a blunt in my fucking hand. But how the hell is it gonna? I say wallet. That's gonna turn it into a fucking wallet in my mind. Hell no. You know what the fuck you was doing. You knew it was no way they could stop you. See, other white people don't have the power to stop white people. White persons can't stop other white persons. They only blend in and fuck with each other, and they let each other do what the fuck they do. Us as black people, we step in and stop other black folks. We'll stop another motherfucking black person. Hey man, what the fuck you doing, man? No, man. Leave them alone. Don't do that. White folks don't do that. Some shit go down and the white people are around each other and they see it, they blend in. They help out. When they stopped that black dude in that little neighborhood and he was walking around chilling a few days ago and the white motherfuckers pulled up and was like, yo, nigga, I don't want you walking around here. Walk back that way. Them other white people wasn't on that black dude's side. They want to say, hey, why you bothering him? He just walking down the fucking street. They was like, yeah, who the fuck are you? You've been looking at people's houses. They accused that nigga. He's sitting back like, why he talking to the dude? He talking to the bystanders against him, even though he just walked down the street in his own neighborhood. Where do you live? Well, we're going to walk you home. Like all kind of aggression. Because when white people see other white people doing shit, they blend in. They don't look at it and say, hey, no, that's not right. It's a rarity when it happens. It happens. It's a rarity though. It do happen when white people step in, but not enough to stop the bullshit. For instance, I thought to myself, I said, well, what happened when the first white person walked into the first white person's house and saw a slave in his crib? The very first white person walked into another white person's house and saw a black person as a slave. What happened that day? You know what happened that day? That white person was walked in that crib and was like, wait a minute. No, I'm gonna tell you what didn't happen. This what didn't happen that day. A white person did not walk into another white person's house and see a slave in there. And he did not say, hey, you got a black person in here being a slave. You can't do that. That's not right, man. No, man. Hey, Andrew, you cannot do that. And I'm not letting you do this. You cannot have a person in here working for you, slaving for you. No, fuck that. Hey, man, you come on, get out of here, man. You ain't gonna be doing this shit. That didn't happen. When a white person walked into another white person's house and saw a black person as a slave, they walked in there and said, hey, Andrew, how the fuck did you get this? So wait a minute. He'll work and do everything for you in the house and out the house, and his whole family will, and you don't have to do nothing? You don't even pay him? Oh, fuck that. I want one. Where you get him from? That's how slavery got started. And every time another white person saw that shit, they was like, you know what? I want one too. Period. That's how it got started. And it probably ended because they was down south like saying, y'all up north can't have none of these. You better go get your own motherfucker. No, we got these. And then the north people was like, nah, fuck that. We want some of them for ourselves. Because if you think about it, when the black people had the great migration and came from the south up to the north, all the fuck they did is get jobs. That's really all the fuck they did. We got jobs now. The fucking celebrities, they workers. They have jobs. Nobody is fucking independent doing their own thing. All of us got to work through white America to get what the fuck you need. You can't get tissue without white folks. You can't get paper, water. Everything got to come through them. So we don't have no infrastructure and setup like that where you can do anything and operate in this country without Caucasians. Whether it's a job, whether it's your clients, whether it's something, you need white folks to survive. You need white folks stores to survive. I told somebody just that yesterday, I said, we be mad at the Asians, we be mad at the Arabs in our neighborhood who sell us food and shit. Who own the food that they sell? Think about that shit. Everything on the fucking shelf at the gas station, everything on the fucking shelf, all the food they sell at the stores that we go to where the Asian person might be behind the stuff, or the white person, whoever, I mean, not the white person, but the Asian or the Mexican, whoever in our neighborhoods selling products in our hood, selling to us at the local corner stores, they all are white products. We buying Frosted Flakes, we buying milk, we buying sugar, we buying biscuits, we buying stuff from people that's not us. White people supply them goddamn stores. When you see a fucking 18-wheeler truck pulling up, that's white people products on there. That dude, that motherfucker got the Pepsi outfit on, the motherfucker with the Doritos outfit on, them white folks companies. They take that shit, they pack that shit in them stores and leave within a second. And if now you faced with the Asian lady or the Mexican guy or the fucking Arab person, and them the people who basically front and are the front face of those white companies. And that's the facts. That's why they're able to come in there and open a fucking storefront. Because white people give them the green light. Hey, y'all go over there, take this grant. You open up right here on 89th and blah, blah, blah street. That's where you're going to be. We walk outside the crib like, how the fuck y'all get over here? But shit, I guess I do need this shit. And he come to the store all the time. And we go ahead and finance the motherfucker. We financing the people who hate the fuck out of us. And that's facts. That's why they feel like it's so easy to kill us, because there's nobody fighting them back. I ain't talking about necessarily fighting them back with guns and knives. You can fight them back with money, because that's how they operate. Stop giving them anything. But it's hard because we all got our cravings. We love sugar. We love salt. We love our beer. We love our everything. Our shit. We all love what we love. So it's going to be hard to give up those things to fight for some kind of freedom or some kind of control of our life, because to murder us like that, I'm almost ready tonight to be like, okay, at 4 a.m., when I wake up, I know for a fact I'm going to see some motherfucking black dude or black girl got murdered across America. I know it. What state is it going to be? That's the random point of it. I don't even know. We just pop up the TV and it'd be like, oh, they had a traffic stop yesterday, or they came to somebody's house and some guy did 2 jumping jacks before he said he was going to do 2 jumping jacks, and they shot him. So that was it. And now he's dead, and they're going to start talking about how what a wicked person he was. And, you know, the little teenager got shot here, 13, under a teenager, 13. I don't even think that's a teenager. He has no idea what a teenager life is, and he's dead. and then he's dead. Was he in the wrong for having a gun? He tossed the gun, the little kid, you can see it in the video. He tossed the gun, but when he turned around, the cop shot him so fast. And I'm just a firm believer that I believe that if that cop was not a Caucasian human and it was more of a Hispanic human like the kid was, he probably would have had more humanity for that kid and probably understood what the kid was up to. Just knowing he trying to be in the streets, he trying to be a youngster, he trying to be out there. Life is like that when you're young. I was outside the street at that age. And so it's like you're going to run into shit. Somebody could have gave the kid that gun. He could have found the shit on the ground. It's a lot of things that could have happened that could have got that kid longer time on the earth. But the fact that they got white cops walking around our hoods and they can shoot you at any time. And then they come with it's some bad cops and some good cops. Where is the black cops that's killing white kids? Where's the white cops? Where's the Hispanic cops that's killing white kids? Where's this? Where's the Asian cops that killing white kids? They don't do crime. They don't have guns. These kids that go and shoot up a school and still walk out that motherfucker and go to jail. Hey, I shot up 13 people. Take my gun, sorry. They walk right in there and go to jail. It's not even no thought about hurting him. They want to figure out what he did it for. Bring him in here, man. We got to study. What happened? Talk to us, Jimmy. Why was you thinking like that? Why did you want to do it? And then we got to sit back and figure it out on 2 Dateline specials on the fucking TV. So all this shit is just something I wanted to stop right now and just say something about it because it's not even a fucking morning big where I'm at. But at the end of the day, you constantly seeing the murders and constantly, you can't even cut the damn news. I had to cut off CBS News. I had to actually just stop them from coming through my YouTube because that's all the fuck they playing. Yo, they shot this black dude over here. They shot this black dude over there. Man, that's fucking propaganda, man. That's propaganda. That's what I was saying. And I was saying yesterday about how when the Germans was in control of the media in Germany, they took that media and put out negative propaganda media against the Jews. So the Jews fled Germany. They had the concentration camps and all that shit. You know about the Holocaust. They got the fuck out of there. So when the ones that landed in America, they decided to be in control of their own media. So they came up with a thing called Hollywood. Hollywood was started in Chicago. It was a studio called S&E Studios, a little bit up north. Obviously up north is white people. So he started the studio. It's too cold in Chicago. Early 1900s, they went west. They went to California. They made Hollywood, which is what you know today. So when you hear people say, yeah, Hollywood is ran by Jews, yeah, because they created it, because they was wanted to be in control of their own media, because they experienced somebody else being in control of the media, which turned the whole motherfucking government and people against them, which began the Holocaust. So you got all these people who was put in concentration camps and killed because this other person and they race felt like they were the superior race. So when they came to America, they created their own media hub. They're in control of what the fuck go on there. So you can't expect media from Hollywood to be positive about black people. It's not about that. It's about them making sure ain't nobody on there saying nothing negative about the Jewish community. That's how that got going. Now, when you think about us, we don't have nothing like that. We don't have this thing that we create. It's not a Facebook for black people. It's not a Twitter for black people. All of our stuff has to run through whites. So if it has to run through whites, that's just the only way you're going to get media in America. Let's just say that's the facts. Then how can we do that where it's not negative, where it's not hurting us, where it's not putting us where we have to be mental? We need mental fucking help because every time you're looking at the news, it's showing you somebody getting murdered. Another person just like you, another person your age. When do that stop? When do that stop? That got to stop. If it's gonna fucking be some kind of positivity in our world, man, that gotta stop. We don't need to see that no more. I'm tired of seeing the people getting shot, the little kids. I can't imagine that little girl when you see the video of her laying on the ground right there. It's horrific. It's horrific. She's a kid. And she's dead, laying right there. It's like, damn. And constantly, the news just play it back and play it back and play it back. And I that's what I wish it stopped. I wish that will fucking stop. That they'll quit playing that stuff. That they'll give us a break. Give us a break on the horrendous murders and the constant rampant murders of us in the community of America. Give us a break. We need that. You know what I'm saying? It's enough. I don't know who can you appeal to get that to stop, where they shooting us down and killing us and just letting it play out on the internet and on TV over and over and over. all they need to stop. Yo, that's the end of this motherfucking podcast, and I appreciate the people who came on here and jumped in and hollered at me. I look like my audio is back working on here. I did this podcast real quick because my webcam wasn't recording audio, so I've been doing it with my cell phone the last few days. So I just want to try it again because I thought this shit supposed to work, but it looked like the audio is working because I had people respond, and I appreciate that. And I'm gonna holler at y'all again in the future. So holler and like and subscribe and all that good shit, and I'll get at y'all in a minute.